Hello, hello, and welcome to ZIPPI Live, the weekly live that this week is postponed for one day because yesterday we had the Jewish holiday of Shavuot in Israel. As a matter of fact, Jewish people who live outside of Israel are still celebrating that holiday, but in Israel it is only a one-day holiday, and abroad it's 2 days. Don't ask, it's very complicated if you don't know. Um, but this is also, for example, people in England, it's been a very big holiday weekend, what with the Queen's Jubilee. And I want to talk about holidays and going out of routine and vacations because we're coming up to summer now and summer vacations, it's not far away at all. So I would like to talk about what happens if you slip on the holiday. But before I'm going to talk about my subject for today, this week's live, I have a very, very exciting announcement to make. I am coming out with a new digital mini course called the Sugar Detox Starter Kit. This is a very short, sweet, and very interesting course, jam-packed, filled with information for people who are thinking about going on a sugar detox or planning to go on a sugar detox, or maybe they've been in relapse and want to regain their, go off sugar, but just feel like they don't know where to start. This is a very short and sweet course that basically is in 3 modules. It motivates you to begin, tells you what you need to do to set yourself up physically and mentally to begin a sugar detox so you are set for success, and also to help you how you can make this a lasting change in your life, the mental preparations needed for that. So if you're interested in this course, there's going to be a link to sign up for the VIP early bird list, where you will get the early bird discount for this course. It's a course that is not going to be expensive in any way. The regular price is $49.99, but anybody who signs up for the VIP early bird list will get it for $19.99. So this is really a great value, and it's a wonderful course. And the people who have already done it and seen it have given wonderful feedback for it. So if it interests you, please just sign up here. And if you don't see the link, then just leave a comment here and we'll make sure on your email, and we'll make sure you get it. So there's some really cool stuff coming up also in the next coming months. I really hope for you guys. So let's get back to our subject. What happens if there's a holiday or, some kind of vacation or whatever it is, and you slipped? So first of all, it's important to know that not just in food addiction or sugar addiction, in every addiction, holidays and vacations are risk situations. They're a time when relapse is more prevalent because relapse is part of the disease of addictions. And let's think about what people who are addicted to these hyper-processed, sugary, starchy foods are up against, right? I mean, it's everywhere. And we are constantly being stimulated and cued, right? And reminded of how wonderful it is to have this ice cream or whatever it is. And that makes it much, much harder to abstain, like to not use these drug foods. And it's not even socially accepted. I mean, if you say, you stop smoking, yay, it's hippie, but I stopped eating sugar, what? That's extreme. And why? Everything in moderation. And it means that you're denying yourself, right? And you're just going to binge afterwards, and all of these types of things that people say about quitting sugar. But for some people, moderation just doesn't work. So we have to understand what we're up against. We're in an environment that is also what's called obesogenic, which means that it encourages obesity. It encourages this, what we call hedonic eating for pleasure. Our food supply has been hijacked with like foods that are hyper stimulating and hyper addictive. And it's socially very unacceptable to abstain from these foods completely. So we really are swimming against the tide. So it's no wonder that slips, and relapses can happen. It doesn't have to happen, but it does. It's something that's quite common. And so, first of all, of course, as always, the best way to treat relapse is to prevent it, right? So, if you know that there's a holiday coming up or a vacation, and maybe there will be certain what we call risk situations, you're going to go to a restaurant, you're going to be a guest at someone's house where you don't have really control over what's going to be served, all kinds of things like that. In my course, I talk about external and internal solutions to find for these risk situations, which means like technical things that you can do. Those are the external solutions, you know, like maybe bringing some food or calling a friend or getting support. And then there's the internal solutions, like the things like that I say to myself, or journaling, or, making sure that I have the support I need and the emotional support, finding um, finding ways to deal with these situations that are not food related. But what happens if you did slip? You had a slip. So first of all, it's very, very important. First, you should. It happens to me. Okay, I slip sometimes on food, and when I do, I get bummed out with myself. I get disappointed in myself. We all do. That's the most natural reaction in the world, right? If I know that I'm committed to being in recovery from food addiction, and I haven't stood by that commitment, then it bumps me out and I get disappointed in myself. But there's a difference between being bummed out or being disappointed in myself and make this is like the catastrophe and the end of the world and what the hell, like, I already broke my abstinence, or I broke my diet, or I broke whatever it is, my commitment to eat only healthy foods. So I, just like go off the rails and that's it. Like I always say, like, if sometimes we're driving, right, and there's maybe a bump in the road that we didn't notice, so the car gets shaken up. So what does that mean? Like we press on the gas and go like head on into the tree on the side, or we just like, hold on to the steering wheel a little harder, pay more attention to the road ahead, and keep driving. So this is what I always tell my clients who come to my program, GPS to Sugar Free. I say, if you had a slip, it's very natural to be disappointed and be bummed, but to make it into a catastrophe just really feeds into that diet mentality of like, okay, so I'll just binge I'll just like forget it, like eat, lose all control, and tomorrow we'll get back on track. When you do that, it's so much harder to get back on track afterwards. I mean, the brain is like, instead of like just lighting it up a little, it's all lit up like a Christmas tree. It's much harder to turn it off afterwards. So if you did have a slip, you stop as quickly as possible, as soon as possible, with as little as possible. The amount, it matters. How long it was, it matters. So if it's as little as possible, as short as possible, that's a big thing. And it's also a big difference between if it was a slip on real food or a slip on drug foods, right? So these are the type of things that we have to remember, and I'll be soft on ourselves. I always say, okay, we had a slip, forgive yourself. And here's the thing, a slip, a mistake is an opportunity to learn. That's the truth of it. Okay. This is always an opportunity for us to learn something more about ourselves, about our relationship with food, about our relationship with our environment and relationship, related to food. And think about, what do I need to do differently next time so that there will be a different outcome? And am I willing to do that? It's a time really to sit and be honest with ourselves. And so many times in my life, I've learned so much more from my mistakes and from the times when I messed up rather than the times when I succeeded or even excelled. So if we see a mistake or when we've messed up as an opportunity for growth, as an opportunity to learn something about ourselves, that's when that's when real growth can occur. And that is when we can really also enjoy our sugar-free journey, even if we messed up or even if we had a slip or whatever it is. So use the, it's very, very important to prevent as much as possible. And it's very important to develop skills and tools, external and internal, that will help you get, solve situations in a non-food, without food, right? Without using food as the solution, because that's our tendency to do. But if there is a slippery lapse, just use it as an opportunity for growth, and don't try to do it alone. Get the help that you need so that you can get back on track as soon as possible. And if you feel that you would like some help, you are more than welcome to reach out and schedule a one-on-one, a strategy call, if you'd like me to be the one to help you. So I would like to wish all of us happy holidays, happy vacations. We should have a summer filled with happy times and lots of, really enjoyable moments that are not necessarily connected to food. So have a great day, wonderful evening, fantastic week, and I will see you next week at our regular time on Sunday at 8 p.m. Bye-bye. Don't forget to sign up for the VIP list for the Sugar Detox Starter Kit.